Alex, can you talk about the decision to come to MLS, and we're happy you're here. Talk to us about the journey.
Yeah, the journey was tough my past 1.5 years. As you know, I played a long time in Germany in the Bundesliga. Had a good time there, also working together with Sandro in Mainz. And for me, it always was a dream to play in the MLS, and now it came true. And yeah, let's see what we can achieve together.
You mentioned working with Sandro in the past. What was that like? Is it similar now to how it was back then, or has he evolved as a coach?
Of course, he has involved also, but I think the basic things as a coach you never really change. So we still play like energetic football. We play a good pressing. We do a lot against the ball, and yeah, this is the football. This is the Red Bull football that I also know from Germany, and this is how we continue here.
Have you spoken to anybody about the workload that you're about to get into with all the different tournaments and all the amount of games and the short breaks and the on and offs for you to deal as a footballer? Have you spoken to anybody about that?
Yeah, I have a few friends who also play over here, and also I was speaking with Sandro a lot. So during this process to sign here, we were in touch like 4 or 5 times, and we were speaking about many things. We were speaking about the load of the games. We were speaking about what different kind of cups we have, and yeah, I'm prepared of that. I was staying fit for the past few months that I was training alone, and yeah, I was looking forward to come here.
Kind of bouncing off that question, something a lot of players from Europe experience is how far away games are. The travel between games is bigger than Germany. It's it's almost like Champions League every week sometimes. Can you talk about what advice you might have gotten from your friends about that?
You mean because of the travel distances?
Yeah.
I mean, we're soccer players. We know how this works, and the distance is another problem. And nowadays we can fly. I think the guys back then had a bigger problem with going with the buses to these games. So this can never be an excuse. I think the maximum travel is like 6 hours, so it's completely fine.
How much of a role did Sandro play with you signing here? Do you think you'd be here if Sandro wasn't here?
Obviously, I cannot tell, but I think he has a big role. We were working together in Mainz, and we trusted each other very much. And I think this is the base for working good together. And this is also something we do here. And yeah, I was looking forward to that for a long time. And yeah, also the guys in Mainz that we still know were asking me nonstop, yeah, are you about to join? When you're about to join, we hear the gossip and stuff like that. So yeah, now I'm here and I'm looking forward to it.
What kind of player are the New York Red Bulls getting in you?
With me?
Yeah.
I would say an aggressive player, but I also love to play football. I love to play a clear ball on the field. Yeah, they will also get a loudspeaker on the field. I'm very loud. I like to be loud on the field, and yeah, I think this is what they can get.
Can you talk about just building the rapport with the center backs, the outside backs, as well as kind of the center midfielders that you kind of work with very closely in this system?
How it will work together?
Yeah, no, just building that chemistry between your teammates.
It was surprisingly fast. Like the guys didn't make it very difficult for me to fit in, and I think especially when you work together, it's not just the defense and the midfielders; it's also the strikers, because when you work against the ball, these are the first defenders. So yeah, I think in general the communication is very good. I think we saw it especially in the first test that we had. And yeah, of course we continue working hard on that, but the communication will never be a problem.
And then just some early impressions of your time here. I know it's been very early, but just as quick, like
positive and cold. It's cold over here, but I'm used to that. I mean, I'm from Germany. We also have cold winters, and yeah, the guys are having like a good workload. They're all fit. I was surprised how fit the guys are. Like they run a lot. And this is what we need the whole season, to stay fit and on a high level, and then we can achieve something great together.
Knowing how close this team got to the final last year, you stepping into this, is there any added pressure to make sure you do your part to keep going with what happened last year?
I wouldn't say any pressure, but I would say the good thing is, it's not a good thing, but the guys lost last year, but they see what they can achieve now. So I think this is something great to see. You can achieve something great with this team, and yeah, this is something we have to build on. We have to take what the guys achieved last year, and yeah, the aim has to be to be at the end of the season at the same game, and hopefully to have another result.
Can you speak on the perception of MLS overseas? We hear different perspectives from people in different leagues. From the Bundesliga perspective, how is this league perceived over there?
I would say back then we had great players who come over here, like Lothar Matthäus, Franz Beckenbauer, and stuff like this. But most of the time they were at the end of the career. I think this changed now a little bit. I know many players, especially from Germany, that came here that are younger than, I don't know, 30 years or even in the mid-20s, that are great players. When I think of Tommy, for example, from Kansas, that I know Mukhtar, these are great players. And the reputation changed a lot the past years. And also when you see the games, of course, the games most of the time are in Europe in the nighttime. So I was just watching the Red Bull games at the end of the season to prepare a little bit. But it's getting bigger and bigger. If it would be the same time zone, maybe we would watch a little bit more often. But we will get there.
So you said it was a dream of you for you to play here in MLS. You've, of course, played the majority of your career in Mainz and then a year in Saudi Arabia. How does it differ a little bit from Saudi Arabia or Europe?
I think this is the question I was asked most from my friends and my environment. What is the difference between Saudi and here? I mean, of course, first of all, the weather, but also Saudi Arabia had many talented young players, and they are on an envelopment time, and this is kind of the same what's happening here. But what I see here that the young players are like, we have 15 years old players, we have 16 years players, and they play on a high level. They're extremely fit. And I think this is something what the league can build on. And I mean, in sports is always the same. If you are fit and your body feels way better, the brain is more fit and stuff like this. So one step leads to another. And I think the young players have something nice to have ahead of them.
One more question.
Alexander, can you talk about your experience working with former Bundesliga players like Emil Forsberg and Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting?
Of course I can tell about this. I mean, Choupo, I missed in Mainz. He was leaving Mainz and I was coming to Mainz. We were speaking also before, and Choupo is a great player as well as Emil. I was playing a lot against Emil and Choupo, and these were always nice games against Leipzig and Bayern Munich. So these are players on a top level, and I think this is what I expect here also of them, and what they also have to expect from me. So it's nice for me to have these players from Europe that I already know, also speak German, so it's quite familiar for me.
Alex, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.